You're listening to the voice of IWA Flip here on InterFed Radio. Had to take a big deep breath and compose myself before this trash talk edition because still steaming after that commissioner segment. But got so heated that I hit the wrong button and forgot to mention one little tidbit. So I'm going to go ahead and pass the ball over to Commissioner Scott Anderson, and then I said, then we'll continue the trash talk edition of Around the United Nations League. Commissioner, welcome back.
Hey, thanks. Appreciate it. Always good to be here. And there is, I know we're going to talk about something else first, but there is a lot of excellent trash talk going on right now. So I'm very excited to do this portion of the show. Hopefully, anybody listening will have a chance to check out the bulletin. You got a little while before the next one drops, obviously, but if you get a chance, there's a lot of good stuff. But what I want to mention first is our pay-per-view coming up, which is the Rumble. We do have Rick Rancher versus Aaron McFleece, which I think will be a huge matchup. I do believe I'll be able to announce at least 2 or 3 additional matches in my next report. Nice. Working on those now. But, of course, the big one, the main event, the Rumble match, we are now over $2.8 million in iCash.
Now, did you get any takers on biggest person in the IWA?
Nobody contradicted me. I'm gonna go with from here on out until somebody tells me otherwise that this is the biggest commissioner prize.
Single event payout?
Yeah. This is the biggest commissioner iCash payout that I know of, and that's what I'm going with, because I would be shocked if we didn't pass over 3 million. I wholeheartedly expect to pass over 3 million this cycle, which to me is fantastic. That's incredible. So unless somebody can tell me that they've given out more than 3 million at once for an event, I'm going with it's the most. So, and you win 10 free matches. Just
the little sprinkles,
just a sprinkle on top. So 10 free matches too.
Sweet.
In addition to your instant retirement, thanks to your 3 million in iCash.
Or your drop losses forever money. Your drop losses.
Right. There you go. Like, you will never have to worry about having enough money to drop losses.
Yeah.
Which actually, I'm glad that came up, because what that reminds me is, I hope everyone who wants to is able to join Stablecade this year. You've probably already heard, but it bears mentioning. All the proceeds from managers entering Stablecade this year are going to go to our good dear friend Jim Blazer as he recovers and help with his medical bills. Even if you're not in a stable, you can still enter Stablecade. The IWA puts you as like an independent or, a non-stable wrestler, and those all get grouped together. So there could be 100 wrestlers that are all not in stables, and they are grouped together. So it is kind of random, but you can still do it. I highly encourage everybody, to join, support Jim as he recovers. He is a fantastic, wonderful person. We miss him. So wishing him the best, and also just throwing that out there. Please, if you have any interest, join Stablecade.
Oh yeah, I mean, definitely gonna put our we're gonna make some stables up just to add some more extra characters in there.
Just to get them in. I know TBABIT is planning to enter, so.
Dang it. Well, at least I'll get 20 matches off.
Yeah, because everybody gets 20 matches dropped. If you join, the IWA is going to drop 20 matches from your record.
Nice.
So even if you're, even if that's the reason you join, I don't care. It's still helping Jim. Get 20 matches dropped, 20 losses dropped. So,
Definitely for a good cause. Like I said,
For a
Jim,
good
you're
cause, for sure.
you're in our thoughts and prayers, brother. Speedy recovery.
Definitely. All right. So how about we get into this trash talk?
Oh yeah, and in the
Um,
spirit of one of the
Blazer
you
Court.
know exactly in the spirit of Blazer Corp, who was like I said, let's get into it. And as we ended the last commissioner show, a certain
So
reporter a certain reporter got attacked, and
yeah,
yeah, Poison's back at it, huh? These punks.
back at it.
Oh, jeez,
Yes.
man. Who said
Well,
anything
I
about
mean,
CC DeVille? I was, making a remark
who would
about,
do that
like,
in the
wow.
last segment? Like, come on.
Oh,
So
man.
yeah, so it seems like CC DeVille attacks a journalist.
All I got to say is get a haircut. Oh, man. The associates, yeah, this isn't over. This is just beginning. Can't do this. You got a pay-per-view coming up. You should be
Got
focusing
friends in
on your
high places.
matches.
Yes.
Oh,
So in addition to attacking a certain journalist, Poison also seemed to relish their attack on Naul and the fact that CC is still the Can-Am champion.
what?
Yes.
Come on, Noel.
Yeah. So, I mean, it goes without saying that there will definitely be repercussions, but Poison says there is more to come. So we'll see what they have in store.
Yeah, I mean, you saw that sneaky, cover, dude. That guy just, yeah. How did you
Akbar exudes villainy.
how did you ever, think he was a face? Like, jeez, man.
Yes. As I've mentioned about certain other co-hosts, Akbar has the perfect face for radio. So.
You're getting beat up next, brother. That's it. That's all it takes. Yeah. See, you got him. You get him, Akbar.
No, I'm the commissioner. You can't beat up the commissioner.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Like
Take it out on the
I'm
darn.
gonna hide behind in my office with the door
Nice.
shut.
Oh,
Um,
like, well, they're coming. They're coming for me. They're coming. now,
barricade the door.
now, like you said, Mister 24/7 is never contempt.
Never content, for sure.
So now that he has won every regional, won every belt that he wanted to, that's done.
Accomplished.
Gets over league legend Rick Rancher in their series, and
Yes.
becomes the champion of champions here in the UNL. Still nothing.
Well, in this trash talk, he hadn't yet become champion.
Oh, okay.
So he's in this trash talk. He's lamenting his loss in the second match of the series.
Aha.
But then Felicia O'Neill starts asking him about Noble House and where are they, and has he heard from them, and does he know what's going on? And he keeps trying to not give her an answer, but she keeps pressing. And finally, he kind of gets upset, and he finally just admits that he doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't even know if he's still Noble House. And then he slams the door. So we'll see what's going on there.
I think my favorite line of this one was that brings out that attitude was and yet here you stand. Yet here you stand. Like, I'm not trying to hold you back, but and yet here you stand. Like, I'm not trying to bother you or anything. It's like, and yet here you stand. Like, come on, poor Felicia. Ah,
Yeah.
and yet, yeah, and like I said, just I'm curious to see him with that belt. Because him as a champion, like I said, it's something that I guess he's always sought.
That's all he cares about. Yeah.
Yeah, and now that he has it, will this make him, like you said, will this finally be that fill that he needs?
Right.
And just okay, I'm good. Now I can start handing out roses or start being more people friendly.
People friendly. Yeah. Because if I can try and defend Valinaria, I don't think he's, although this trash talk may prove otherwise, like generally speaking, he's not trying to be malicious. He's just singular focus, right? And
Yeah.
so any interruption of that he finds as a nuisance.
Yes.
And so whenever he keeps getting interrupted by reporters, he finds that to be a nuisance.
Yeah. Hey.
Hey,
Especially someone like Felicia, who's so persistent.
yeah, she wasn't giving up. She wanted an answer. So
Yeah.
kudos to her for that. And she got her answer. So
Yeah. So just an extra shout out to the Noble House, Mac Trilla, and the Mananimal.
yeah.
Just shout out, brother. Like I said, hope you're out there. Hope you're listening. I hope to see you back till we can beat the Nowels out of you.
I will say Noble House, some of my favorite wrestlers, definitely one of my favorite managers. I miss him. I would love to see him back in any capacity in any league,
You see,
just because I need some Noble House in my life.
you know what? I did it again. I freaking put Nowell in Noble House. It's not Nowell that's in Noble House. It's freaking Valen. Nowell's real, dude. Now both of these guys are really gonna kill me now. I keep confusing the jeez, that's it. First fucking Jamie Lee Curtis, now these two guys. That's the second time I confuse them. And yeah, come on, Phil, get it together.
If they let it go once, I don't know if they'll let it go twice.
Yeah, I'm telling you, dude. I just scrolled up and I saw that look on Valen, like, oh man, scroll. Scroll.
But really, to be fair, like the look on Naul's face isn't much better.
Well, at least Nowell has padded gloves. At least
That's true. That's true. He does call Poison cowards here, which to me seems like a pretty strong description.
Hey, did you see what happened to the reporter, Nowell? Be careful.
Yeah, I know. Well, he's already been, attacked, and he says, I know that, his quick killing, partners Hitman and Reaper have their own battle with the dead rabbits, but he will not stand alone. So I think that maybe Poison thinks they have the upper hand on Nowell, but they may be surprised.
Oh yeah. No, I think Nowell knows where to find help real easily, and
Yeah.
especially since a certain reporter got attacked and got quick access to the associates. You better watch out there. I'm trying to think of what that. No, it's not. No. Oh, yeah. No. Won't go there.
Okay.
But this next one, I will go.
Yes.
I mean, you talk about being starstruck. I was reading through it and I was like, oh my God, it's him. Mike Mason.
Mike freaking Mason.
Back in the UNL. And, I've mentioned cameos on different InterFed shows before and how certain managers, run a certain character and they just, like, when that character just comes back, just that to make, and of course, we'd love everybody to stick around forever. We know different players playing different styles. But, this is one of those characters. I mean, I mean, him and his new tag team partner, which is Matsu. How do you pronounce that?
I believe it's Masanobu.
Masanobu.
And I could be wrong, so please correct me.
But I mean,
yeah.
Just you got Behemoth, and you got an athlete that's just skilled in every which way, and yeah, this brings you talk about someone changing the landscape like a Philippe Rousseau and a Antoine Martin. like a Butcher Cutting and uh, Monk McGinn.
Yeah.
This is that same kind of game changer. I mean, this league is just filling up and filling up with some talent that you know. I'm not going to say Ezekiel Crane is attracting this kind of attention, but Ezekiel Crane when he came over, just I mean, you talk about
Shine some eyes, huh?
yeah, because I
Yeah.
yeah I see some names that are on here now that you know I never thought I'd see the Edge come out of their retirement, but to see Edge unretired and I'm curious to see those managers and as to how they get themselves involved in the trash talk aspect of this league because ultimately this league is talent talent filled and a melting pot because my goodness this upcoming pay-per-view is yeah
Gonna
it's
be big. But yeah, I would like to, second and possibly third the excitement of having Mike Mason back, Masanobu back. So when you talk about like uh, shifting the landscape, Mike Mason is a land shifting type character. I I can't make any bones like about it. Certain characters you you just I don't want to say like are attached to, but certain characters you just are drawn to, and Mike Mason is one of those characters for me. So I'm super happy that he's in the UNL. So obviously, kudos to James Bennett for working out a renegotiation on his CWL contract so that he could be in both leagues. Certainly, it might not have hurt that the same person is in charge of both leagues. So, but definitely looking forward to the Trans-Pacific Alliance. Hopefully, be great. I noticed that both competitors have over 75K, which is the entry amount for the Rumble. Would be pretty cool to see Mike Mason make a big splash in the Rumble. But in any case, just very happy to see him.
yeah definitely like I said watch out for Ezekiel Crane.
Yeah.
Just
He may
because
not look dangerous, but he is very dangerous.
yeah we're finding out little by little that yeah there's more to meets the eyes there with Ezekiel Crane and I think each cycle just reveals a little more and
Yes.
and just to see some of the other NRA and some of the other Ezekiel Crane figures interact with the rest of the league. I mean, uh, you know, the Snake himself, came after the royal family,
Yeah.
and it looks like he's just like dismissing them. Like, you know what? There was too much fear in his eyes. Like some of this, there's not like if there's nothing there. Like, what do they say? If there's nothing in
Oh,
that soul.
well, I think, not that I want to correct you, but I think you might be confusing Jake the Snake Sabo with Jan Greycrow. Jan
Ah,
Greycrow laid out the challenge to Joe Kona.
aha.
But there is Jake Sabo here talking about how he gave Anthony Enzo basically a choice, to look into his eyes and either uh, accept his fate or become Ezekiel Crane along with the other members.
Ah, that's the one I
So
was. Like I knew I was twisting and twirling it. I was like,
so I
that is.
was I was a little intrigued and somewhat mystified by this trash talk, but we do get another piece to this puzzle later on, which we can talk about later on if you want.
Yeah, let's do it.
So they're to be continued to be continued with Jake Sabo. But we do get a trash talk where the masked man seems like he outwits a very intelligent Ezekiel Crane.
Dang it. Masked
In,
guy.
in a bit of a shady way, though, if I may say. So the masked man waits until Ezekiel Crane goes to the bathroom, and in the bathroom, there's what looks like the masked man, but it's not the masked man. It's the decent Muda, not to
Oh.
be confused with any other Muda, who recently appeared on the G1 Supercard, and it was freaking awesome. So sidebar, sorry, it was so cool to
Nice.
see the great Muda show up. If you haven't seen it, I highly encourage you
Now
to
this
go
is
back.
a New Japan.
Yeah, New Japan. And so the great Muda shows up. Nobody knew he was. Well, at least I didn't. I didn't know he was going to be there.
Nice.
But it was pretty cool. It was a cool moment. But anyway, so it's the decent Muda. So then the real masked man kind of shows up at the doorway, and he has a small remote, and he uses that small remote to set off a small explosion where he basically blows up a toilet, and you can imagine the result of what would get on Ezekiel and Solomon and Jake due to the explosion of a toilet in a public restroom. So
Now, do you think he was going for that irony factor that he's full of?
yes, I believe there was a bit of intention to the fecal result of the masked man's actions.
How
So,
dare you, masked man? I'm telling you, Ezekiel Crane is a war veteran, a hero to this
war
nation.
veteran. Yes. So, but obviously the masked man thinks he knows something that maybe we don't know. So,
Huh.
but
Now,
continue that later.
now,
What
leading up.
we do have next, a bit of a breakup in the serious, is the Joneses. Is that what you were going to talk about next?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Geez, I mean,
Because there's a couple things in this.
I mean, you need this in a league. I mean, you have to have that. I mean, and to do it properly.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah. It's, if you have it, I feel like I say this 3 or 4 times a show, but this is definitely a good read. So you have the two Bushmasters. One is a Bushmaster, as in like a Crocodile Dundee type style is what I think of. And I mean, that's what I picture in my brain. I mean that with all due respect. But like a Bushmaster, like, somebody who's very accomplished, in terms of, survival. But then we also have a Bushmaster, as in Bush, the beverage. So Archie Jones, they defeat Walter McGinn and Bill Cutting for the league tag team titles. Archie goes to go up the side, and but Brody climbs to the turnbuckle in all 4 corners, flexing and gyrating in a way that no one could find appealing.
You can imagine the jiggle. You can
gyrate. It's just good verbiage, gyrating in a way that no one could find appealing. Even people who claim to be into dad bods. And I mean, it's just good stuff. So what Brody does do, however, here, even to the seeming disgust of his partner Archie, is attack McGinn and Cutting after the match with his title belt. Yeah,
No.
which I don't recommend, but obviously Brody doesn't care, doesn't know better. So I know that the Dead Rabbits are investing in a feud with Quick Kill Inc. But if I were the Joneses, I might keep an eye over my shoulder.
You know what? I think I want to applaud them because Quick Kill Inc. is tough. So the Dead Rabbits are going to have their focus, on that tough opponent. So yeah, kick them while their backs are turned.
I thought you were going somewhere else with that. That's pretty funny though.
Oh no, man.
But yeah, definitely, definitely trying to make a statement, which is always a good thing when you're, a new kid on the block. You go for the, it's like, not that I've ever been to prison, of course, but, like if you go to prison, you beat up the biggest, toughest guy, then you're the biggest, toughest guy.
That's the way it works around here. UNL prison rules. Next pay-per-view.
Prison
Next
rules.
pay-per-view.
Somebody's getting shanked.
Oh, it's over.
So-
You're getting hit with a telephone book. You're getting hit with a
So speaking of people you don't want to mess with, we do have a short message from the Quebec hitman here, but he focuses on the possibility of Valinaria joining Quick Kill Inc.
Nice.
So
Nice.
he's pretty complimentary here, and the hitman's a tough customer, so he doesn't throw out compliments to just anybody. But he compliments Valen here, and he says, hey, you could be a major asset as we face off against, the Dead Rabbits and other teams in the league. So it'll be interesting to see what Valen has to say. He seems like he's having some troubles with his Noble House brethren. So
it's kind of hard to, when they give you the key and then they change the door.
That's true.
It's like, but hey. Here you go.
Yeah. So next we have some words of wisdom from Ezekiel Crane. What did you think of this, sir?
You know what? Mr. Crane is not only attacking here, I've seen him attacking in other social medias now, and this is, to me, this is, one of those things that if you really dive into the Ezekiel Crane philosophy of being your brother's keeper, this is all Ezekiel Crane is just, not only becoming, but, when you're, but like I told you earlier, I mean, I wasn't expecting to get invested that much into this angle, and then one thing led to another, and I think the Masked Man has added to a special. I mean, because, full disclosure, nobody knows who it is on this side, so it's like that buildup is killing us. It's killing us. Oh man! So we're really checking in and looking, watching each other's back, because, like I said, this league is just, I mean,
pretty stacked.
It is. I mean, and it could be anyone. I still think, like I said, I'm taking my early shots, but now that I got beat up, I don't think it was the Party Boys, because they're well known to be attackers around here.
They are. So it's almost like that, that would be, like the usual suspects, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's...
it wouldn't be you because you wouldn't do it because everybody thinks it's going to be you.
And then if it's them, oh man. And
it's hard to rule anybody out.
Yeah, Double Dutch has been, kind of quiet, so...
Yeah.
I don't think...
If I may, before we talk about my dear friends in Double Dutch, Ezekiel does do something here that I thought was very interesting. He lays out a challenge for the pay-per-view where he says, if you can face and defeat, to the Masked Man, if you can face and defeat one of my associates, you can have 5 minutes in the ring with me.
With him?
Yes, with him.
No,
that's
dude,
what he says.
You can't allow something like that. The guy's in a wheelchair.
Hey, if he puts it out there as a part of a stipulation, that's how we sell tickets.
My goodness,
that's how we sell tickets and pay-per-view buys.
Oh man, this is... My goodness, Masked Man. Yeah, no, yeah, this has definitely got to be some Ezekiel Crane. Where's the small print? You said you got to zoom in at 500.
Maybe he's got some fine print in there.
I'm looking through the afro. I don't see it.
Yeah.
But all right. Well, if he said it, I mean, be careful
Yeah.
because his contracts are kind of sneaky, man.
They definitely can be. I can attest. You want to read every bit.
Yeah, because
Yeah. But also here, I don't want to ignore Solomon Ying, who tells Tenbatsu, who had some words for Ezekiel Crane last cycle. He tells him, Crane is dealing with this masked idiot, as he calls him. Not his words, not mine. So Solomon says the road to Ezekiel Crane goes through him. So if Tenbatsu wants any kind of a confrontation with Ezekiel Crane, he's got to face Solomon Ying. And I, for one, think that match could be a proverbial barn burner. So,
oh yeah,
so hopefully that match comes to fruition.
Tenbatsu versus Solomon Yang.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, yeah, yeah. That's that. Yeah, yeah. Let's. But where's the extra pieces of wood to throw into that fire?
Right.
Yeah, that's one.
Oh, and Anthony Enzo joins. It seems like he joins the Ezekiel Crane group.
What?
Yes. He attacks the masked man, and he goes to pull. He spray paints EC on his back.
Nice.
And then Jake Sabot stops him from pulling the mask off. He says that's for Ezekiel to do.
And so he left the royal family.
No,
Anthony Enzo? Am I confusing him?
I believe so. Anthony Enzo is the Italian Nightmare.
Hot diggity dog. Who am I thinking of? I'm thinking of.
You're thinking of the Hawaiian Delight, Joe.
Hawaiian Delight, Joe Kona.
Which is still one of my favorite nicknames, Hawaiian Delight.
Yes.
I mean, come on.
Yes.
I love it. Hawaiian Delight, Joe Kona, and the Samoan Bulldozer, Tonga Ming,
Those
make up the royal family. Yes.
Aha. And the Italian.
The Italian Nightmare.
Italian Nightmare.
Yes.
Man, I have him way out of the radar.
Yeah.
Where has he been?
We have not heard from him very much.
But now he joins Ezekiel Crane?
That's what it looks like.
What? What's going on this side of town?
Hey, like any good, if you can't beat him, join him.
First of all, I'm making throwbacks to the royal family. Royal family, shout out! I am thinking of you. I was already giving you a new member. But I mean, why didn't you join the royal family, dude? Ezekiel Crane, man. Okay, well, welcome to the nightmare.
The reality is though that we are all Ezekiel Crane.
I shouldn't have known that from the start. That this shouldn't be. This shouldn't have been bothering me if we're all Ezekiel Crane. So. Nice.
Yeah. So enough of that Ezekiel Crane fella. We do have some good stuff, as always, of course, from Double Dutch 2000.
Yes.
And actually, it goes understated, but TVB says here he is now, with his China Championship win, he has now captured every regional title in the UNL.
Nice. Shout out. Now may have not been as publicized as Mr. Valinaria's, but
to hold up on that, he does say that he has yet to win the TV and league titles.
Aha.
So he has, however, done the accomplishment of winning all 10 regionals, which to me, in and of itself, is a huge accomplishment.
Yes.
But Valinaria is still, to the best of my knowledge, the only person to have won all the front page titles.
Nice. Well, I'm starting the campaign for TVB, right? He's the one that yeah.
Correct. Has completed all 10 regionals. So
we're
to
start we're
see him,
starting the TV League campaign for TVB.
there we go. The the TV for TVB.
There you go.
Okay, I like it. I dig it. But the, Jacob Jacob says something. He's like, "Well, dang, I went and did that in my first year. Like, won the league title." And TVB shoots his cousin, the Stink Eye.
Nice, nice.
It made me laugh. But they also they're going to allow Art Deco to join Double Dutch 2000.
Nice.
And I could not be happier. Art Deco cracks me up.
I'm surprised they didn't change it to Double Dutch 3000 for adding Deco. You know, just as silly as these guys are. It's like
another 1,000 years.
Yeah. I just added just for Art Deco's sake.
Be like 2001.
Yes. Oh, there you go.
You're worth 1 year, Art.
Nice.
But yeah. So now we have Art Deco.
Now, I mean, you know, Double Dutch, newly crowned international champion.
Yeah, Jacob. Yeah,
Jacob. Nice.
Yeah. So
keep you know,
gold already there. Yeah, it's already working.
Already working for them. Yeah, that's what I love about it. Now, these guys are scary everywhere we go. The dead
you
rabbits.
Wouldn't be talking about the dead rabbits, would you?
Yeah, man. You know what?
Yeah.
Hey, God, dude, someone's shining a little light on these guys, man. Jeez, cutting.
They are, as we mentioned, the real deal for sure. So Hughesworth, still one of my favorite names, talks about how either the Butcher or McGinn are going to win the Rumble, and I'm not inclined to argue.
Now, have we got a description on Mr. Robert Hughesworth, or are we imagining him like a Lurk type, you know, butler-ish?
Yeah, I kind of see him as an older
Englishman,
an older Englishman. Yeah, I mean, I would certainly welcome any kind of description or picture, and maybe I've missed a description, or maybe I'm just forgetting.
Why do I want to have, like, I envision him like messing with his mustache, like off to the side, like, yeah, chaps, hello.
Hello, chaps. Yeah, hello.
We're gonna kick the living.
We're gonna beat the tar out of you. Yeah. So definitely wouldn't want to mess with the dead rabbits in a dark alley. But that sounded way different than I meant. I meant you wouldn't want to get beat up by the dead rabbits, okay? But what happens here in this trash talk that had me like instantly on the edge of my seat is Bill Cutting challenges Quick Kill Inc. to face him and the Monk in a best of 7 series.
Ooh.
I can tell you, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I don't want to put the cart ahead of the horse. But I'm going to confirm this with the Quick Kill Inc. manager. But I don't know why he wouldn't accept, because he's the one who laid out the challenge for somebody to fight them in a series. Yes. So we should be able to get this going. Here's my thought. Okay. Match 1 could take place at the Rumble. If it goes all the way to match 7 could take place at the Global's greatest event.
Nice.
End to end. How cool would that be?
Oh yeah.
Now
I know it's not set, you know, or declared here, but this is a tag match.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, he does talk about how Cutting says Quick Killing can pick whatever 2 guys we want to take on him and the Monk. So he definitely lays it out as a tag team.
Yes. Okay.
And I don't want to sell Naul short, but if this occurs, I believe it would be the Hitman and the Reaper.
Yes. So
I am like stoked beyond measure if we get a best of 7 series.
Yeah, like I said, that's one that what do they call it? I'd buy that for $1.
Yeah, yeah, that's worth the price of admission.
Yes.
That alone.
Now, speaking of someone that looks like he got more than he was asking for in terms of admission,
Yeah.
is that Rick Rancher under there?
It is Rick Rancher. It looks like Aaron McFleece is working him over, and we have the awesome Chuck Palahniuk quote, "Nothing left to lose is the new wealth." For those of you who might not know, Chuck Palahniuk wrote Fight Club, among other things. So, kind of the voice of a generation.
Nice.
But so I think that's very nice. But then Aaron McFleece underneath, a little less eloquent, says, "Even your mother can't save you from this butt kicking, Rancher." Only he doesn't say butt. But there are a couple of asterisks here.
Yes.
And I know that the manager of Aaron McFleece is super big on asterisks. So I am looking forward to this matchup. We do have a question later that was on the Facebook page that we'll address, but I will tease it now and mention if you talk about some of my dream matches, dream feuds, without a doubt, Aaron McFleece versus Rick Rancher is a dream matchup for me. So there's one. Check.
Nice. Yeah, that one's definitely one that I think when we saw them finally begin to interact, it was just kind of like, yeah, oh yeah.
Right.
In that I guess in that same sense, just like the one we just mentioned with I went blank with Solomon Yang and Solomon Yang.
And Jan Greycrow?
No, that's the tag team. I forget who he was challenging.
Oh, Solomon Yang and Tenbatsu?
And Tenbatsu. Yeah, that's another. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely like to see that mix of old and new blood.
Yes, agreed. But while we're sort of still talking about Rick Rancher comes back from his verbal altercation with Aaron McFleece, and he is clearly hot under the collar, very upset. And he has this conversation with Verklempt where he wants, Rancher that is, wants some dirt. He wants some information. He wants something that he thinks will embarrass Aaron McFleece. And Vladimir Verklempt is like, no problem. I have ways of getting information.
Nice.
That's my best Russian accent right there. So basically, Verklempt says, "I'll find this information for you. I'll get your dirt on how we can, embarrass Aaron McFleece." So I will be anticipating what maybe Verklempt manages to find.
Now, for managers that don't know Verklempt as well as others, I don't want to say Verklempt is like he never comes off as kind of like a comedy figure. I mean, this is we're hoping he finds some actual dirt, not just
and not actual dirt. I think Verklempt can often come off as unintentionally funny, right? Like he's funny, but he doesn't mean to be funny, right? Like Clooney the clown, he is not being funny on purpose.
Nice. So it is a possibility that he comes back with a bag of dirt. Nice.
I would not be shocked if he came back with some actual dirt.
Oh, nice.
That would be hilarious, by the way. I hope we didn't just ruin what the plan was, but that would be funny to me.
Like, shut up, Flip.
You're ruining my gimmick.
Oh man. But I just wanted to, get a little better feel of the character because I think it's it.
Well, when he first came into the league, Verklempt had a handler, and Verklempt would do these like very eccentric, sporadic, unknowable signs where he'd like stomp his feet 3 times or he'd pull his left ear,
Nice.
and only the interpreter knew what he was actually trying to say. And
He
so
was doing
Verklempt would occasionally get very upset.
he was doing like third baseman
Yeah.
baseball coach signs.
Yes. Yeah.
Nice.
So that was that was good stuff too. Yeah. So that's what I mean when I say I think sometimes Verklempt is unintentionally funny.
Now the intentional side of this sugar high.
Yes. Elizabeth is trying to keep Griff from getting himself in trouble, but Griff just can't seem to help himself. So, and kudos to Harriet, who keeps things on schedule and deals with people coming in trying to talk to yours truly, Commissioner Anderson. So Griff, says that they've cut the presentation down that they want to show Commissioner Anderson to only 3 3/4 of an hour. And Harriet won't let him in, the secretary. So Elizabeth keeps trying to talk some sense into goodie bag Griff without much success. But finally, I think she's able to, get him to kind of accept that Sugar High is not going to meet with Commissioner Anderson that day. And Harriet actually calls them Booger High, which only, of course, infuriates Griff. But then Griff vows to try and meet with Anderson at the pay-per-view.
Now, I mean, in terms of wanting to meet for Mr. Anderson, have they stated what they want to, meet with him for? Or
well, from last cycle's Trash Talk, if I had to venture a guess, it's that they would like to be able to challenge for the World Tag Titles.
What? No, not Sugar High.
Because there's one national, one international. Yeah. So I think that's where his contention is, and that's why he would like to meet with Commissioner Anderson.
No changing the rules, Sugar High. Stick to the rules.
Yes. So
easy way around that is hire the associates. From all
Felix, Thomas Graycrow, 106, 107.
From all the fines that they got this last cycle and all the strips, they're looking for some more work. So
if you need help, they are the men to ask.
Oh man, well, strategies easily provided. We'll send them right over. Oh man.
I mean, associates are good teammates.
Oh man. One of these days I got to change my strategies.
So, I would like to apologize. I always ask very late. And so, maybe somebody wants to ask a question and they don't get it in. Although we're about, 5 hours after I posted. So, not bad. But we did get a question. I asked if there are any questions you'd like answered. We did get a very good question from our dear friend, Mr. Swanson. And I'll read his question because I have my answer down, but I don't have his question. So I will read his question. It is, what's been your favorite feud in the UNL so far? And do you have any dream feuds that you'd like to see that haven't happened yet? Excellent. Part 2, he says, can be IWA wide. So to address a portion of the second part first, in terms of dream feuds that haven't happened that I would like to see, there are definitely managers that I would like to see like have a series against each other that I don't believe has happened yet. But that aside, talking about characters, should I go Should I go UNL first or IWA wide first?
Since it's a
Like,
UNL show, let's venture outside of the UNL and then come back and
close it home with the UNL.
yeah.
Okay, so IWA wide, a couple feuds that I thought of that I think would be cool to see. Uh, the first one, I'm not sure if I know that they were both in the NWL at the same time for a small portion of time. Is Winston Smith Jr. and Joe Boring. So I know that they were in the UNL together for a short time, but I don't think they really crossed paths. Winston Smith was feuding with his future ally, now enemy, Aaron McFleece. And Joe Boring, I'm actually not sure what Joe Boring was doing because I had left the NWL at that point. Sorry, Joe. So that, a big time feud with those two, I think would be intriguing. On a somewhat more personal note, I manage the Chaotix in the IWL, and I think a feud against the Suburban Hell Savages in the BRL could be pretty cool. That would be kind of a dream feud for me, Chaotix versus Suburban Hell Savages. And then also, another one I thought of is Mr. Magnificent Jamie Montgomery against Late Night Logan Kane. For a very specific reason. Mr. Magnificent Jamie Montgomery has done all there is to do, very successful, kind of hampered by injuries at this point, but a fantastic worker, fantastic talker. And then you have Late Night Logan Kane, up and coming, very funny, very creative, excellent talker. And I just think that the TT that would come from a Montgomery Kane feud, man, that's the stuff of dreams right there. So maybe those two will cross paths at some point. Not to leave anybody out, but those are just a couple that I thought of off the top of my head. IWA wide, those characters coming together would be pretty cool.
Shout out.
Bringing it back home to the UNL, because that's where my heart is. My personal favorite that includes my wrestler is Naul versus Jacob Vandenberg. It was a longer-ish feud. It probably was like 6 months.
Nice.
It was a great way to build Naul's character. Jacob was a great villain. It culminated in a pink drink dunk tank match where Naul finally got his revenge after months of harassment. So that's probably been my personal favorite feud. Other feuds that I have really been intrigued with and enjoyed was Poison against Rick Rancher. Quick Kill Inc. versus Blood Money was also very good. There are lots of other excellent feuds. One from the end of last year that is definitely up there with anything else is Aaron McFleece against Tembatsu. Headlined our, big show of the year. Definitely deserved it. It was an excellent story. Feuds we haven't seen yet. We almost got a teaser of this one. Quick Kill Inc. against Poison.
Yes.
So seeing that feud could be awesome. I mean, I know we're seeing Naul, right? And he is a part of Quick Kill Inc., but, we're starting to see it now. But Quick Kill Inc. versus Poison, we haven't seen yet. And Rick Rancher against TVB at some point. I think those two strong personalities, that could be really very cool. So those are two that I think of. Again, not to leave anybody out. There are so many excellent characters, but those are the ones that I thought of in the few minutes that I was developing that. So
Now what that brings to mind is returning characters or returning managers.
yes,
Because the IWA, like we know, is one of these games that it's open, open field, so people come and go.
right.
And when you have these powerhouse managers return, and of course they've played the game before, and I think what I get the biggest kick out of in seeing quote unquote these dream matches is when they when they go all in.
Yeah.
When because obviously certain managers have certain styles and they have certain trash talk. But when you get two of them selling out and just no holds barred, my goodness. That's what we're here for. That's what we live for. Stories like that is just amazing to cover. So someone like Sugar High, who's, in my opinion, they're developing these characters to be a long, slow burn. So, I know the type of feud that's coming. I know it's going to be something that's going to be a slow burn because of the way they're developing their characters, and that it just it works, brother. It really does.
Yes, I am a big fan, and I've mentioned this on other shows, but I'm a big fan of that type of work where we don't have to give everything away all at once, and that's something that since you mentioned Sugar High, that's something that I see with that, right? Is this developing a long-term story, which I definitely think makes for a more interesting read. So yeah, definitely looking forward to that.
Oh yeah. Now, uh, I gotta say it because my head was in the gutter, and when you had mentioned the Bush brothers,
Yes, or the Joneses.
the Bushes or
Yeah, the
so
Bushmasters.
yeah, so I was like head in the gutter. I was thinking like he was like the Bushmaster, like the woman, the
Like the
womanizer.
Ladies' Choice. There's only one
Yeah.
lady. There's only one Lady's
Oh,
Choice, sir.
gotcha. Here in the UNL, there's only
There's only
one
one
lady. So,
Lady's Choice.
yeah, so I'm like Crocodile Dundee. I'm like, that guy don't got no hit game. Like that guy's not the lady's choice. Like Crocodile Dundee.
Oh
But then
man.
when you're like, yeah, he knows his survival. I'm like, okay, yeah, my head was way in the gutter on that one, brother. Like,
Not
wow.
that
Oh,
not that type of a master, no.
I was like, wow, okay, yeah, I just had to get that out because
Oh man.
I was like, oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh,
I've been guilty of having uh similar mistakes. So
like,
I make no judgments, but
oh,
that's pretty funny.
oh yeah, I was like Crocodile Dundee, hit
Yeah.
game. No,
I
he don't
mean,
got no hit game. Oh, oh
yeah.
Dundee.
Like,
Oh,
no, he's from Australia. He wrestles the alligators.
okay, yeah, that's okay. That's better. That's better. That's better.
Yeah.
Oh man, so
Oh, brother.
like I said, trash talk here in the United Nations League is amazing. Yeah, so and yeah, if you think the associates are going to sit back and stay quiet forever, you're dead wrong. Just letting you
Got
guys have
another
your
thing
fun.
coming.
Yeah, just gotta let you guys have your fun first. Coming for y'all, especially you. Yeah, I won't even say it. Oh. Commissioner, anything else to put on this one before I cut you off like I did on the last one?
No. Uh nope. Rumble's coming up. Make sure you get your entry in by the next cycle, April 30th. I wouldn't want anybody who could enter to miss out. 75K in iCash. Let's push that prize to as big as it can possibly be. Thank you for all of your work. Definitely the UNL is a fantastic place to be. So thank you.
Why did you say that about Akbar?
What? I didn't say anything about
Yeah, you
it.
did. Oh, yeah, just
I
trying to
said
put.
he is a fantastic talent, deserved the cover, challenging for the United Nations title, and probably the most evil man in the UNL.
Yeah, see, that's not what I remember. I remember her saying you had a big old stink eye. But we'll leave that for another show. All right, guys, you've been listening to the soon-to-be dead IWA Flip and Commissioner Anderson. We'll see you guys next time.